Welcome, everyone. It's May, so it's May is MIDI month, and I'm very happy to have all of you join us for our annual MIDI and Music Education Working Group presentation and webinar. We have some wonderful guests here today. I'm Dr. Lee Whitmore. I'm a Vice President at Focusrite Group and also a MIDI Association Executive Board member and proudly co-chair the MIDI and Music Education Working Group. We have some wonderful guests today, and we're going to showcase some of the projects and programs that we've been working on in the group, and also have a chance to highlight one of our contributors and volunteers programs in Southern California. Here's our guests. Welcome, Jenny Amaya from the Riverside City College Coyle School of the Arts. How are you today, Jenny?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here today. And also, live from Mexico City, we've got Isaac de la Mora at the SAE Institute, Mexico. Hey, Isaac.
Hello. Thank you so much.
Great to have you both here today. So what are we going to cover in the webinar today? We're going to spend a little time talking about our new MIDI Education Materials grant. SAE Institute Mexico is in fact developing content for us, and we're refreshing our certification program given the proliferation of MIDI 2.0. And then we'll spend some time talking about what's happening at one of our members' campuses with Jenny and Amaya at Riverside City College and what's happening with their students. They're very active in what happens in the MIDI Association, followed by Athan Billias, one of my fellow MIDI Executive Board members and officers, talking a little bit more about how you can get involved in this working group and also what's happening at the MIDI Association today. Isaac, so we have this wonderful program that you've been working on for a little while. It's great to have you here to share a little bit more. The association and the board are really excited, and everyone, the MIDI and Music Education Working Group members are very active in collaborating with SAE Institute Mexico and Isaac on the development of the content, which is forthcoming. And so Isaac, tell us a little bit more about what's been happening, and we'd love to hear what the MIDI Education materials are about. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Lee, and thank you, Jen. Yeah, we're thrilled to partner with the MIDI Association and work in this curriculum. And it's a true honor to be leading the development of the curriculum that blends technology, education, creativity, and above all, it makes it accessible in both English and Spanish for a global community. So that's amazing. But more than that, it's that we are developing the program with reviews and participation from all the members from the MIME groups, which is totally a better way to developing a curriculum, because you can have different points of views. But I'll be giving some examples that you will be able to see on how we're going with that. So yeah, thrilled to be here. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Isaac, tell us a little bit about the what's involved in the curriculum, what the assets are going to be.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing is that we're partnering as well with Coursera, which is a global platform. That way we will be able to have all the contents available worldwide, and we will have them in English and Spanish, so we can reach a global audience, as I was saying. This is just an example. We're getting here what is MIDI, which is just one of the first lessons that we have for the curriculum. And also just for you guys to get excited as well. This is under a Commons license, so that means that everybody will be able to get this material and use it for educational purposes, either in a college, either in schools, whatever you want to get from this information and from this content, you will be able to do so. So just for you guys to see what we're doing at the moment, for example, what is MIDI? And we'll have some definitions, and we'll have a picture just there for you to get started and having like a basic knowledge from MIDI. Of course, the curriculum will cover things like what is audio, and we'll have interactives. And of course, we will have lessons that require video, or maybe to interact with an activity that you will be able to upload. These are just examples, guys, for some of the videos. It's good to know that we're having reviews from the MIME group, because of course, as you can see, this is just a work in progress. So please ignore the typo. And once we have these reviews, we will be able to check and get everything ready in time. So this is just happening at the moment. I'm really excited that we're working on this together. So just a little sneak peek of this.
Isak, in the materials, I noticed that you had a slide there with reference material to audio as well. Can you talk a little bit to the balance of, MIDI, electronic musical instruments that are MIDI enabled, computer, and then also what's the audio connection there?
Yeah, of course. Basically, what we really want to, we want to be clear that we're talking about MIDI as a protocol. We're not trying to make this for people to think that it's regarding just audio. It's a protocol, and we're trying to get this pretty clear in the curriculum. But also, we will develop some of the videos and materials with electronic instruments, and of course, some of the audio equipment that SAE Mexico has available for students. So it's all related at the end of the day, but we really have pretty clear lessons on how to deal with this information and have excellent guidance for new people that are just getting to know MIDI, and of course the people that are already working with it, either artists or maybe students. It'll be the best way to approach the knowledge that the curriculum is offering.
Yeah, fantastic. Given the MIDI specification includes machine control, instrument control, DAWs, everything is included in that. That's fantastic.
Sure.
And you mentioned audience. I think it's important for everyone in the stream to know that when we first developed the specification, we strongly considered in the MIDI Music Education Working Group who our target consumers of this content will be. So we'll talk in a minute about the assets that you're developing, Isak, and how folks can use them actively in curriculum and where to find them once everything is released. But for our audience, our target consumers of this content include, of course, students in general, but students on campuses, at high schools, in community college and university and college programs and pro schools. Also for the NAMM community, so for music retailers and their staff, all the folks that work on the sales floor or in phone banks and work with professional and avocational music makers, and those are also audiences. Isak, tell us a little bit about, you mentioned that the materials will be freely available. Everyone in the audience, that means that they're under Creative Commons license, or they will be when they're released. What will those assets be like, Isak?
Yeah, sure thing. You will have two ways to access to these materials. You will be able to just have a free subscription for the course using Coursera as a platform. It'll be totally free to get this material and to learn from that. But also, we'll be able to deliver this material under the Commons license, as you were mentioning, Lee, to every single college, school, or anyone who requires that. They will be available for them just to take any part of it and just use it in their own curriculums or add them to their plans, learning plans, or sessions that they normally have with their students. So that means that every user, either it's an educator or a student, will be able to have different experiences, but all of them will be for free. So that's creating like a better way to sharing the knowledge that we're creating here, or that we are trying to diversify. So that's the way we're trying to approach this. Like, everything is ready for you. You just need to get your goal. And if you want to learn a little bit about MIDI, then you will be able to do it through Coursera. If you want to use the materials to help others learn about MIDI, you can use them as well.
And that's important, Isak, because music educators need that flexible, like, relative curriculum. Can you also talk about the importance of translating the curriculum into Spanish?
Sure thing. That's a really big deal. Thanks for mentioning that, Jen, because of course, it's essential. Latin America has a huge population of music creators and educators. We are eager to engage with music, with technology, and language should never be a barrier. Our bilingual content will help expand access and empower new generation of MIDI users. To be honest with you, Jen, I think this is one of the most exciting things for SAE Mexico, because we will be able to reach global audiences. So that's the importance of it. We want to break barriers and get everybody ready to get this content.
Jenny, and you've been very involved in the planning and collaborate on a bi-weekly basis when the MIDI Music Education Working Group meets. When you think about the materials that SAE Institute in Mexico are developing, how do you envision those being used by your students?
Well, my students are really excited about it, actually. We've been talking about it for a long time, so it's great to see that it's now in development. I probably am going to develop a class that surrounds this. I just think it's important. I'd actually love to see this. I've said this before. I'd love to see this become some sort of competition at the NAMM show, or something where our students get to kind of, study up and compete and get questioned. And I think that would be very fun. But they're excited to learn, and I'm excited to teach it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Isak, anything else you'd like to share about the work that's going on right now?
Only that we're totally excited, and we want that to happen. We want everybody to talk about it. We want everybody to use it, and of course, take advantage of all the benefits that Coursera or the materials can give, not only to educators, but everybody worldwide. So just really happy to be developing this, Lee. And as Jenny was saying, I want to see this already being presented. So we're close to getting there.
Well, on behalf of the MIDI Association board and the organization, we couldn't be more excited. We're very grateful for all the work that you and the team are doing, and excited to see everything come to fruition. So everyone here in the stream today, keep your eyes peeled. If you haven't subscribed to our email list at the MIDI Association at MIDI.org, so that you can keep up to date on progress on this program and learn about when things are live and ready for you to start using, and for folks to take the courses and to work in the course material on Coursera. Thanks so much, Isak.
Thank you, guys.
Next over to Jenny. We're going to spend a little time. Jenny, it's so wonderful the way that you've encouraged your students in program to spend time and to volunteer at MIDI Association events, for instance, at the NAMM show, where your students have been very involved for years now. We have other things planned, and it's just so great to have you here. I'm sure our audience is very eager to hear more about what you're doing at Riverside City College and the Coyle School of the Arts, so I'll turn it over to you.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm finishing up my 8th year full-time at RCC right now, and we're in Riverside, California. We're just a little bit east of the NAMM show, about 45 minutes, in case that helps anybody figure that out, where we're located. I have approximately 150 to 200 students in my program at any given time. I've worked the last several years actually to create a parallel pathway at the state level in music industry studies. So very excited actually to announce that it appears that ADT, that Associate's Degree for Transfer, will be coming out in the fall. So these students that are more technologically equipped and not quite as traditional in the music education side as you know we all have been through in the past with our degrees, there's now going to be a parallel platform for them in the future, and that's all kind of come from Riverside and us working across the state. But yeah, this collaboration with MIDI Association's been like, I can't believe you're thanking me, because we could be thanking you up and down like crazy. We absolutely love what we're doing. For those who don't know, this NAMM show collaboration between RCC and MIDI Association, it began a little over 3 years ago. So this was our 3rd event that just passed in January of 25. And each year it seems to get bigger. Our participation, I think, was about 30 students in 2023, and it was over 60 students in 2025. I always get questions about this. So for the curious educators, some of our students are on Associated Students funding to attend the show, the entire show. The majority of our students, we are fortunate to be in driving distance from the show. So the majority of our students either commute in or pay for their own local accommodations. Some of our students are at the show every day. Some show up for a few hours for one day. We have a wide variety of participation, but everyone matters in order to keep that booth staffed and running efficiently. The NAMM show, we have a few students with actual jobs. A small number of them manage the booth and oversee the schedule for us. We have a few select students who run AV. a good group of students that do setup and teardown. And these students are learning just valuable skills. We've developed a culture of students that are just hardworking and into event planning and management and execution. It's really miraculous what we've been able to do with this. So this one is a huge production for us. It takes months and hundreds of hours of planning. You'll see a few screenshots coming up in our recap video of my Google Drive and some spreadsheets, and that's just a very small glimpse into my life surrounding the show. And this year also, I will say in 25, we started receiving donated products from some of our MIDI Association members. So this added another layer to the experience. I received the products, I think, very close to the show in November, December. Right before our fall semester ended, I had to figure all of that out. So we ended up checking out the instruments to students right at finals week, I think, and said, hey, learn this. And some of these are kind of crazy, wacky MIDI instruments. And then I ended up with a 1-unit ensemble class in the winter, sort of an emergency thing. We enrolled the performers into it and basically said, hey, here are your ensembles, figure this out. There's not really music written for these things. And they stepped up and did just an amazing job. It was really fun. So we've had performances at the show this year as well. Now, one of the most difficult things was the mess of cables we needed for those instruments. And you'll see also the stage plotting for that. It was crazy. So there's a couple screenshots from our whiteboard with that in our video that's coming up. We also were able to coordinate with Yamaha. We received a board that was going to be at the booth so we could have our techs and our ensembles practicing with that. So thank you to all of the partners and Yamaha for all of their support. One more note before we're going to play you a video recap, and one more note about that so that it doesn't seem odd. As a community college professor, you see just about everything. And we have this one student who everywhere I take him, he has to be in a mascot costume. And I told him, please leave the costume at home. And he didn't, but I have to hand it to Athan. He has a great sense of humor and he adapted. So I saw the student in the costume and I was thinking, oh no. And then very quickly it turned into, oh yes, this is good. And he has his own stage name now. And so you're gonna see the mascot in the video. So with all that in mind, I think it's time now to go ahead and take a look at that NAMM 2025 video.
Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, let's take a look.
Just before winter, excitement appears. Plans on the table, the moment is near. Names on the roster, badges to claim. All the young dreamers are ready for fame. From set up to tear down, they give it their all. And when the doors open, they're ready to roll. Into the future, with MIDI they shine. Music and passion, one note at a time. Learning, creating, we're watching them grow. Together they're rising at the NAMM show. Bass and chorus, cadence and strum. My tracks and Clary, demons and swamp. Leaders connected, the members came through. Instrument software and GeoShred 2. From set up to tear down, they give it their all. And when the doors open, they're ready to roll. Into the future, with MIDI they shine. Music and passion, one note at a time. Learning, creating, we're watching them grow. Together they're rising at the NAMM show. Of sound, one spirit stood tall, a critter with rhythm, answering the call. With guitar and courage, he shattered the norm. MIDI Coyote, the legend was born. Into the future, with MIDI they shine. Music and passion, one note at a time. Learning, creating, we're watching them grow. Together they're rising
That was
Pretty
fantastic, Jenny.
amazing.
Still get
Love
choked.
it.
That was just wonderful.
Goodness.
I think we need the coyote back on a regular basis.
He has to be
And
back.
love
He
it.
will be back.
And love the track too.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Jenny,
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit? Can you talk a little bit about how you put that track together? I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, so somebody introduced me to an AI generator, and I've been using it a lot now. So I use ChatGPT and that, so I can tell it, hey, produce me a song in this style with this, with these topics, and I generally try that first, and then it spits out something. I take the lyrics if I like them, I throw them in ChatGPT, and for hours I rework them. With that particular one, it took us several hours, and then I throw it back in and have it regenerate until I get something that works. The hardest part about that was actually the word NAMM. Having it sing the word NAMM took a while, but I finally got it to do it, and it finally shot out something that sounded really great. So that was pretty much all AI with the exception of the lyrics and I. So
yeah. I don't think you had any problem with MIDI Coyote. That's a pretty distinct name. Yeah.
That's all you, Athan. It's fantastic.
That was so awesome. That's great.
Oh, I was just going to say, it was a great time. I put that video together. I've watched it so many times, and I got choked up watching it here. It's just everything about what we do with you all it's just so great. There's so many good things, the layers and the depth of that. For the students, for me, for all of you, it's so great. And I hope we inspire others to do similar things with this generation of students. I get to see what it does for them in the long term. They leave the NAMM show and I'm still with them. And I mean, our program's been asked to run a major conference now that's coming up, that they're moving to Riverside for music as well in Southern California. And it's just incredible to see that happening. And it's because of the work they're seeing us do at the national level with all of you. So we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, one of the things that I find really interesting is, every year we go to Music China and we participate in Music China. Every year we participate in NAMM. And we have developed the same relationship with Shanghai Conservatory of Music in Shanghai. And so when we go to Music China, we have students. And what I did last year is I washed 16 T-shirts that were used by the Riverside students and put them in my bag and carried them to Music China. And there are these, and gave them to the students from Shanghai Conservatory, and they were thrilled. And so we have this, one of the beautiful things about the MIDI Association, it is a truly international organization. We just had a meeting at the Ableton offices in Berlin, and then attended Super Booth. And we do a lot with the entire global community. And I think that really kind of ties back into what SA Mexico is doing with us. We are very, very, very focused on making sure that we democratize music with MIDI all over the world and make it accessible. I have two passion projects in the MIDI Association. One is the MIDI and music education, and the other is our music accessibility special interest group, which is also doing just amazing work and really touching people and allowing people who have physical disabilities and visual disabilities to experience the joy of making music. And that's the real power of MIDI is it bringing people together. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Athan, for everything that you do. I will reiterate to everyone, all are welcome. The work in the MIDI Association, from all of Jenny's students to what the board does and all the various special interest groups. If you have an interest area, there's certainly a way to get involved, and we welcome all comers. And
talking about getting involved, maybe we should, maybe you can talk a little bit of, and we'll share a screen where people can figure out how they can get involved.
Fantastic. Thanks, Athan. Yeah, the MIDI and Music Education Working Group meets practically every other week. There may be some hiatus weeks during the summer when campuses have and school districts have traditional summer breaks, but all are welcome. We have been very focused on the project with ISAC and SE Mexico, SAE Institute Mexico in the past many months, but there are other things that come up. We focus on the NAMM show. There are other opportunities. In fact, before we started this stream, I was talking with Jenny about getting her students involved with Focusrite Group at the upcoming Audio Engineering Society meeting that's going to happen in October in Southern California and Long Beach. If you want to get involved, you can feel free to email either me or Athan. You can see my email address here on screen. I welcome messages from all of you, and we'll get you a calendar appointment so that you can join. Don't feel obligated. For folks who are interested in, say, I'm a pretty busy person, not a problem. It's a volunteer group and working group, and you can come as you have time. And we're always very grateful. It's also in the MIDI Music Education Group a wonderful opportunity to network with other peers and campuses, again, in music education at all levels, school districts, elementary and secondary, community colleges, colleges and university programs, and professional schools. And there are also participating members from our music retailer and manufacturer community as well. So we're very happy to hear from you and hope that you will consider joining us, even if it's for, every once in a while, come in every semester and have a chance to learn about what's happening. And maybe you'll hear of something or a project that we're working on that you'd like to join in on. What would you add to that, Athan?
No, I think you did a great job. Yeah. And thanks to everybody for joining the webinar. And yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, special thanks, Jenny, for all you do. And thanks again for all of your students' efforts. And ISAC, we're so excited about the MIDI education materials and the certification program that's coming in Coursera and for general use in under Creative Commons license soon. So thanks, everybody, for joining this year's May is MIDI Month Music Education webinar. We're glad you were all here, and we hope to hear from you soon.